Thank you guys for being here again. We're excited to be together. Goal number 3 of the Every Student Future Ready strategic plan is to create a sense of safety and belonging in all of our schools. We believe every student deserves to learn in an environment where they feel safe, supported, and feel a true sense of belonging. Each year we invite our students, staff, and families to share their voice through the Safety and Belonging Survey. This feedback helps to identify opportunities for growth and make intentional choices that strengthen our schools. There are many ways we are making progress towards this goal, whether it be creating a welcoming environment for students and families or investing in facility improvements to make sure our buildings are safe. To that end, we recently completed a major milestone in our district. All of our schools now have secured entrances, establishing an extra layer of protection. You experienced one of our new secured entrances when you came in today. I'd like to invite Terri Moses, Division Director of Safety and Environmental Services, to talk about the secured entrances and a few of the other safety enhancements that we've recently made. So, Terri, you can come on up.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Terri Moses, Terririmoses. I'm the Director of Safety and Environmental Services with Wichita Public Schools. And as Superintendent Bielefeld said, we've spent several years working on secured entry, or also what we call direct office access entry. The building that you're in, Hamilton Middle School, was built 107 years ago. The needs of the community and the needs regards to safety were vastly different 107 years ago. The front entrance to this building was directly off of Broadway, just feet away from a major traffic way. As times change, parking needs changed. This building changed from the front entrance on Broadway to the front entrance being on Market. And what that meant is that when you came in on the Market side of the building, you had to walk the entire width of the building to get to the office. Once we put secured entries with video doorbell entries on all of our buildings several years ago, that meant that once you came into the building, you were scanned as you came in with the video doorbell, but then you could enter and go anywhere in the building without anybody really knowing where you were. By putting the addition that we've added to this building with direct office access, as you saw when you came in, you now enter the building, again through the video doorbell access, but then you go directly to the office. For you're once again screened, and a decision is made as to whether or not you're let into the main portion of the building. So that's the improvements that we've made to this building. This year, over the summer, we completed those access points at North High, South High, McCullum Elementary, Minnehaha Elementary, and also Hamilton Middle School. This completed a three-year project where we had approximately 30 buildings that had entrances that were similar to what you experience here, where we had to make major improvements to move the front entry of the building from one portion to the other. I'll be happy to take any questions about that portion of the project if you have any.
You mentioned just a number of the schools that are included, a couple of high schools, a couple this here building
Yes.
that we all experienced when we came in.
Yes.
So is this something that I can only assume is going to be expounded to the rest of the district, or is this kind of?
This is the end.
Yeah,
We have finished all of them. As we started this project, most of them only required the video doorbell entrance because the office was directly related to the front entrance of the building. We had about 30 of them that were like this building, where we had to make some pretty significant changes to the building. Over the past 3 years, we've invested a lot of our capital funding dollars to be able to complete that project. We've finished the project with our direct office access. This is at this point. Other questions about the office access?
What was the average cost for doing that in a building like Hamilton?
This cost was high because you notice we actually had to build an appendage onto that. I am not the facilities person, so I do not have the average cost for that. Some of the buildings were relatively inexpensive because it was adding a video doorbell system, not that much unlike what you would add to the front of your house. Where we have buzzer access entry. But 30 of our buildings did require some significant facilities improvements. Design construction trying to determine the best way to lay them out. At our high schools, both north and south, not only did we have to talk about how we could get to the office, but once we added our open gate scanners, we had to make sure that within that entryway there were space so that the open gate scanners could be used inside the building.
What are future improvements that the school's looking to do?
We're always looking at technology enhancements. Another thing that I'll talk about why we're here today is adding door locks to our secondary schools. Several years ago, we added teacher locks to our elementary schools to make sure that all of our classrooms could be locked from the inside. This year, we're working on a project where we will complete very soon the enhancements of secondary schools, so all of our staff can lock their classrooms from the inside. The room that we're in right now, we've added a cylinder lock to it. All of our secondary classrooms will have locks similar to this. And what it is basically a key lock system. So that anybody who works in this building, no matter what room they're in, say we were in this room right now and it was not traditionally a room that I work in, I would have a key that would allow me to lock from the inside this room. So no matter where I am in the building, I could lock myself and students into that room if necessary. Took some time and energy with our contractors to be able to get all of our secondary buildings done, but we're almost complete with that project.
Will the district need a bond issue to get everything done?
Not these projects. We're constantly looking at other ways to improve our facilities. And again, you look here, one of the improvements we just made was to add space for parking at the south of Hamilton. That may sound like not much, but it's a major improvement in terms of how people drop off. Does anybody have any additional questions about the two security enhancements that we've talked about this morning?
Yeah, so you said now that all schools in the district have that secured entry now?
Yes. Happy to say that, yes. Any other questions?
Beyond just obviously general safety is kind of steering the decision to do this further. I mean, if you could put it into your own words, why this was important, why these were important additions to do now.
I think the superintendent said it best, and that is we have a goal to enhance safety and belonging, and our community met and worked with us in regards to that goals. Our staff met with us in regards to those goals, and when they feel strongly enough about something to make it a major priority within the community and the district, that's why we have to move forward and make sure that safety continues to be a priority. Okay? And I understand that the principal is next, and then we'll go back to the superintendent.
Thank you. Welcome to Hamilton. My name is Chad Cushenberry. I'm the proud principal at Hamilton Middle School. I actually grew up in this attendance area. I'm very familiar with the area. I've lived in the area all my life, basically. My wife grew up about 2 blocks from here. So I'm very familiar with the area. And I want to start off by saying that I'm very grateful with the security measures and the added security layers that we have in place now with the two projects that Terri had mentioned, both the secure entryway and the classroom door locks. It's a great thing for all of the schools to have, but specifically at Hamilton, it's important for us to have that. As I said, growing up in the area, I know there's a lot of great people in the community. There's a lot of positive people in the community. We're doing things to try to increase safety in the community, but the reality of the situation is also South Broadway is just to be real. I mean, it's known for a little bit of a higher crime rate. So it's important to be able to control who is entering and exiting our buildings. In the past, the way this project affects us specifically, in the past, if you visited Hamilton, we were able to remotely buzz you into the building. So we had a doorbell camera in the office. We were able to see who's coming in, but once that person came into the building, it could be confusing for visitors sometimes trying to find the office because it was a bit of a distance to get to the office in the first place. But also on the other side, on the safety side of that, is once the person came into the building, they basically had access to go anywhere in the building, and we didn't really have a good way to control where they went. Now the way it's set up though is, as you noticed when you came in, you're buzzed directly into a reception area where you're greeted by staff, and we're able to help our visitors before they get into the rest of the building. So we're able to find out who is here, why they're here. And as an added layer of security, we're able to screen them through our hall pass system, which checks against our National Offender Registry system. So say we have volunteers or workers or anything like that in the building, we're able to screen them before they're able to get into the general part of the building. The second project that we have going on that's important to us are the red keys. And again, this classroom is equipped with the red door locks. The way that works is every staff member has a red key. And the idea is that no matter where I'm at in the building, I can go into a room, and if I need to secure that room for any reason, the red key is universal. I can lock this door right now in the event of, say, we had a lockdown. And the reason that is important is, let's say I'm a teacher and I was on my planning period and I was down the hall making copies, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, we needed to secure the building. I was able to get into a classroom, but unless there was somebody there with a key to that classroom, I wasn't able to secure the classroom. I wasn't able to lock people out. So that is different now. No matter where I'm at in the building, I can get into a room. I can take kids into a room if I need to, and I can secure that room. So,
Thank you, Chad. I want to thank the Board of Education for making student safety a priority over the last few years. To answer one of the questions and give you some context, the Board of Ed had established a budget of $20 million for safety upgrades, including secured entrances, classroom locks, emergency communication systems, elevator access improvements. Of this total, about $10.5 million was for secured entrances. So that gives you an idea. Terri mentioned also that depending on the building, that price tag varied, a lot between some schools already had an office that was essentially right by the main entrance. All we needed to do was add a door and maybe some entrances, as opposed to Hamilton, where this was really an addition to the building. The majority of our schools were built 60 years ago, more than 60 years ago, and Hamilton is over 100 years old. Secured entrances weren't features that were needed or even considered when schools were built in the past. So we've needed to make these capital improvements, but it's a troubleshooting, problem-solving issue at every building. We do have a limited capital budget to spend on facility needs, and because we've put safety first, that means other projects have been put on hold. While this building is in good shape for its age, the roof here at Hamilton needs attention. They would love air conditioning in their gym, along with other improvements. Schools across the district are in need of improvements like these. We will get to those facility improvements eventually, but our capital resources are covering top priorities, even such as student safety and learning and emergencies first. So that's a bit of also the answer to the bond question, is the capital dollars are only able to be stretched so far with competing priorities. And so that's part of why we continue to work with the Board of Education to investigate whether another bond issue is in the near future. So I think I covered that. I think I answered the other questions. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Ms. Munson, too. I didn't want to forget to tell you that this was an invasion of a classroom that we appreciate. So at this point, I can answer any questions, and Terri is still here, and Chad, if they have any questions for them either. So. Any questions?
If you wanted to continue the bond issue question that she was answering.
Yeah. Yes.
Will you have a bond school bond for future improvements?
So we have made a recommendation to the current Board of Education for a November of 26 a bond issue. We just had a board member election. We're going to wait for the new board members to get seated in January, and then we'll pick up those discussions again to hopefully have a decision sometime in the spring for when that might be. Our facility needs aren't going away. We continue to have needs and ever-changing needs. I think Terri did a great job of explaining how Broadway has changed, parent pickup has changed, bus drop-off has changed. All of these things have changed over years. Our district's 150 years old, and there's a lot of changes that occur over the course of time, and there's a need for continually looking at what we need to do to meet the needs of students and their learning environment. So we believe we are still in need of a bond issue at some point. But what exactly that looks like is yet to be determined, and to finalize the timing of that will come hopefully soon in early 2026.